Hello, everyone. Company Collectibles here, and
He's a Company Collectible.
for another episode of Sixth Scale Unfiltered. Easy, episode 3, my friend. We survived. We survived.
We survive. People like it. I like it. It's fun.
It's fun, right?
It's
fun.
different and it's fun.
So the first episode, we said, "Hey, if we get 100 likes, we'll do episode 2," and we got 300 plus likes. Then for
That's good.
episode 2, we said, "All right, let's do 200 likes," and we do episode 3. And we got almost 300 likes. So I mean, I'm afraid to say I want to get 200 likes for this one because
That's going to be a stretch, but we can do it.
we can do it, guys. Can we push it to 300 likes for episode 4? For episode 4,
Episode 4. 300 likes. I think we can do it. I mean, if
think we
everybody
can do it.
joins in, everybody puts their name in the hat, I think we can hit 300 likes. As I
Yes.
drink my blood.
Yes, and today we have a very awesome topic. Of course, guys, it is the morning. It is about 9:48 a.m. So it should be around, I will say, what, 8:02 p.m. tonight. And we just got the announcement of the Toy Fair exclusives,
Which is awesome.
which is awesome.
Which is cool.
Is very cool. But there's a Hot Toys dilemma, which is going to be the topic of today: expectation versus reality. And we're going to go in deep about the releases in the Toy Fair, the announcements, and also how those releases tied up with the episode 1 Sixth Scale Unfiltered that we discussed a few weeks ago about the head sculpts,
Reissues
the
and
delay.
such.
So you'll start connecting the dots, and then you're gonna say, these guys knew what they were talking." Well, we got some sources, so we try our best to put this together so you guys can have an idea. So easy, let's start the show. And you're gonna have the first word. I want to see and I want to hear your first reaction of this, guys.
So, number 1, Spider-Man, Cyborg. Not the Cyborg we asked for, Hot Toys. We should have put in more detail. Number 2, Iron Tech, Neon Tech Iron Man. Reissue, repaint, redo. Okay, here. It does look pretty cool, though. Not going to lie. It looks pretty cool. The Spider-Man, I'm not a huge fan of. That just looks like it reminds me of the guy from Harry Potter in The Prisoner of Azkaban. You know, the guy with the really
yeah.
I just get too many of that vibes going on with that Spider-Man, so that's a definite ugh. And then we have the Armorer, which that is kind of what everyone was waiting for and wanting, and it just came out of nowhere. And then a lot of people are also saying, they should have done something that we could have had a quick turnaround, like something from the old trilogy, something from prequels, but it's a cool little showcase. It's a cool little showcase besides the Neon Tech for me, because the Neon Tech is just, I mean, we've been getting Neon Techs. I wanted to see something new from Marvel, something, Toy Fair exclusive stuff like this, usually something different, something weird and wacky. Like Cyborg, Spider-Man.
Yes. And my personal opinion about these 3 releases, I actually like them, to be honest with you. I actually like the Mark 50 Neon Tech. I don't know. It's something about the I guess the colors that I like.
The colors and the way it flows and just
Right.
it looks really cool.
You
want to get it.
Yeah, it looks really good. And the Cyber Spider-Man, it doesn't look bad to me. I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan, so I will be lying to you guys if I say, "Oh, this is the best, perfect, I love it." No, I will be lying to you. It is actually a pretty interesting release, especially if you are one of the collectors who like to have all the video games suits, right? So this is a perfect chance for you to get it. And the reason why I mentioned this before is in the beginning of the show about how we spoke about this in episode 1 about the reissues, about the delays, and what is next with Hot Toys. What are they doing, right, to try to get some, to make some money? And obviously, besides the reissues that are really easy way to make money because you're going to be pretty much reissuing the hot figures that are in the
Yeah.
secondary market right now, right? That's a no-brainer.
And like you said, as you can see, no head sculpts.
And that's the point. No head sculpts. And if you go back in time, maybe a few weeks ago when we spoke about this, we said, well, Spidey Antioch was one figure, no head sculpt. Then we got Pepper Potts. Pretty much it's no head sculpt because it's just the face in a helmet. So I would consider it like a 50-50 type. Then what we got after? We got the 501st Battalion Trooper,
Oh, first
right?
battalion.
Battalion, right? With the helmet, right?
Uh-huh.
And then what else we got? Right after that, what were the announcements again?
For the drops or
This
oh yeah,
mask, mask, mask. So you can see the pattern there. So why? Because obviously these figures are going to be released, should be released in the next month or so.
yeah, faster
because
turnaround times on these guys.
faster turnaround time. So now you start connecting the dots. And because of what happened originally with Hatos, with the delays, with the Mark 85 Hesco, which they're starting delivering, now they need to start releasing all the figures. But we're just gonna go in deep in every single one just to have an idea what improvements they made, and whether it's gonna be. I think is gonna be is gonna do a buy or pass on these ones anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go that in deep because I'm gonna do figure previews as well. But just overall, just to have an idea, right? So we're gonna start with the Mark 50, the Neon Mark 50. So you said that you are.
I'm 50-50, no pun intended on this one because it looks really cool. The way the colors and the certain things they add, like there's like weird looking numbers and stuff, makes it have a cool factor. And I also don't have a Mark 50, but then again, I'm not big of an Iron Man guy. It does look cool. I mean, an all black Iron Man always looks cool to me. So I wish this would have been a Mark 85. But with that being said, they're more than likely going to do a Neon Tech Mark 85. That's probably, without a doubt, they're going to release a Neon Tech Mark 85. But this does look cool. It's just this Neon Tech stuff I never liked. It's just too much for me. I just see what they're doing is just repainting figures and calling it Neon Tech. So I'm not a fan of the
Neon Tech.
Neon Tech.
Neon Tech. No, but yeah, I get your point. But this is again going back to the previous points we made about what is the easiest way for Hot Toys to make money, right? Whether if it's a reissue, then it's a reissue. But then this one here is a smart way of reissuing the Mark 50, but like a new release, basically adding all new colors. But also, if you notice, they're adding the shield, which is with the Mark 85 battle damage.
Oh yeah,
right?
I forgot. I thought the Mark 50 came with a shield. But that's the battle damage special little.
I'm sorry,
accessory.
Yeah, it's a Mark 85, Mark 50, right? So this accessory here, the figure didn't come with this. When the original Mark 50, unless I don't know if it came with accessories that was sold separately. I don't remember. But you see those little things, right? They're adding some of those accessories that will make sense for the collector to have, and they just put it in the Toy Fair exclusive. Because remember, they already have everything ready. They just need to repaint it, right?
Yeah, this is pretty much an easy repaint. So Neon Techs were always easy repaints,
pretty much.
And honestly, I don't think they sell as well. I mean, if you look on Sideshow website, the Neon Techs sit for a while, on the website, and they kind of cook there until sold out, and they kind of throw special offers and deals that will get them sold. Right. So I think this is a cheap little cash cow they can release every now and then, which, like we said, it is a business, and they need a child that they can just send out and get money real quick and pull it back in. So it's understandable.
It is understandable.
But for Toy Fair exclusive, I was expecting something of the other realm in Marvel, something weird and wacky, something, maybe the bald lady from Doctor Strange, maybe. Those would be pretty cool figures for Toy Fairs, but that's, like we said, that's a head sculpt going to take longer, so.
Right. But also remember that, we have a lot of this Mark 50 still in the shelf. So a lot of people didn't buy this one because of the Mark 85. So it would make more sense to get those extra, I guess, inventory to repaint them and make the new packaging and just call it as a neon
Uh-huh.
4.0, And to be honest with you, very honest with you, I actually like this one, and I think when I was in Nate's show the other day, I was kind of like, but I mean, now that I see these pictures, actually, it looks pretty nice.
It
I
has a lot
really
of stuff
like it.
going on in the chest compared to the other ones. The other ones are just straight black mostly.
Right.
This one has a lot of different things going on, numbers and writing, and that's why I said I kind of like it. It looks very sharp. So
It does look very sharp, and also that one. I'm just gonna see if I can search it up. The colors look very similar to whatchamacallit, Tony Stark when he was in the city fighting the bad guys. Let me see if I can just pull this off here. Maybe this one here. See, just the quality kind of
oh,
sucks. Kind of sucks. Um, Let me see. Oh, maybe this one is much better. But new tab. Here we go. So this one looks more like this. You see this suit that he has,
oh yeah.
right?
I
So
think that's the inspiration. Now that you catch it, I really see what they did.
smart move, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Smart move because they're gonna give you the best of both worlds without giving you Huskull. I kind of like the suit as well, so that wouldn't be perfect if they would have done this figure. But you see, like they're doing stuff that slowly you start connecting the dots and start
Uh-huh.
making sense. Will this mean that we're gonna get more figures without Huskulls with helmets soon? Stay tuned because I have some news for that. All right, so that's for the Mark 50, the neon Mark 50. Let me just go back and try to see if I can get the other.
Well, our mic booms look like it's connected.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
saw that.
So that one looks actually pretty nice. Then we have the Spider-Man
Oh
Cyborg.
gosh. This is wacky. This is
It
wacky and thwacky. I don't know. This is not for me.
Why? Enlighten
This
us.
It looks like Harry Potter, squiggly eyed dude, and this is the same classic suit, basically with attachments on it. They cut the arm off and put a bunch of attachments on it. This is obviously from the Spider-Man game, probably one of the suits you can play, but it's so weird. Yet again, I'm not a Marvel fan, so I'm not going to get the lore. I'm not going to get the whole idea of this. To me, it just looks wacky. And I don't know. Spider-Man just doesn't sell well, I feel, as much anymore. There's very certain few figures that do sell like crazy, but this is one of them that I feel like it just won't do well.
Do you think it makes more sense for them to do this type of figure because it's an exclusive? And technically, the exclusives are, I'm not going to say it's limited quantity, like maybe 1,000 units, because I don't think I've seen something like that. But they tend to sell faster,
They
right?
tend to sell faster only because of the demand factor of it being a Toy Fair exclusive, and people think they can get their money out of it. But yeah, like Dark Anakin was a Toy Fair exclusive, and look at that guy. But like figures like this is, I don't know. But then again, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Stuff like the weird stuff like this also probably high demand figure later on. But I don't know. It's just wacky to me. It looks wacky, and then they're using the same old suit that damaged with me after such a short period of time that you can't even really articulate it. You can't use a claw because the claw leaves indentions into the rubbery type suit, and it's a pretty complex figure. These Spider-Man ones.
Yeah, I agree. And I actually like this one, to be honest with you. Obviously I'm gonna get it for the unboxing review, so um so yeah, I kind of like this one as well. I'm not a huge Spider-Man or fan, so you know I didn't keep all the previous video game suits because I'm not too fan of it. So I have to be honest, right?
Yeah,
But this is a very nice one, though.
like you said, we will probably most likely get them, but is it a long-term figure? No. Like for me, these Spider-Man figures is not long-term. It's not. I can't hold on to them because I know it's gonna hurt. And that's what's hurting me with these. The Arkham Prestige Batman suit.
Mm-hmm.
That thing is scary because it's full blown that pleathery material that just sticks to itself and creases and damages after a while just by sitting there on your display. So it's scary for me.
Yeah, no, it is a bit scary because you're usually looking, and actually, I remember that one of your videos you said, "I wish Hatos would have done ratchet joints on these figures," and guess what? They listened to us because they didn't give us a ratchet joints on a Spider-Man. Actually, they did on the upgraded suit, but also they did on the Trooper, the Clone Trooper. They did ratchet joints on the legs, so they are literally slowly.
Was that on Cody for
No,
the
no, no,
joints?
no. It's for the
But did Cody
the
have
Fire
ratchet?
First. No, erection. You said?
Ooh, we're getting upgrades. See, you gotta ask for ratcheted joints.
Hashtag ratchet joints. I'm gonna put it ratchet joints. So we made a point, right? If you're paying so much money for a figure, at least give us really good articulation, right? So the purpose of this is just so you can do some poses, nice poses. A lot of people like to have it in museum poses. Other people like to have it very dynamic.
You can look at the suit right here. If you want to get that leg that high up, you better have ratcheted joints because that suit material will work against your poses. It will tend to form back to, due to pressure, it will form back to, the least amount of pressure. And you don't really get that tight fit. But then again, you are damaging the suit. So it's like, it's kind of crazy how they expect Spider-Man to be in that material because of how dynamic he is. So it mind boggles me.
Agreed. And guys, if you're still watching this video, please don't forget to like because liking helps a lot. And we're gonna set a record. We're gonna ask for 200. Let's do 250 likes for episode 4. 250 likes. So if we can do it, you're gonna see episode 4, and we're gonna continue the show as long as you want to see the show. Today we are talking about Hot Toys Dilemma: expectation versus reality in the Sixth Scale Unfiltered show. So this is a really good discussion. So we're telling you like it is, our honest opinion about these figures, whether we like it or not. And as you can see, Easy and I, we're not always on the same page. He doesn't like one thing, I like one thing, or vice versa. And that's the point. We're having a really good discussion.
It shares the views for the guys watching and gals watching, so everybody can relate as much as they can.
Right.
But I think it's a good balance because I know you like a lot of stuff that I'm like, nah.
I know. One of them was the Captain America that you say, "Oh, I don't see Chris Evans."
I don't see Chris Evans.
And we had a conversation. I said, "Dude, do you want my glasses?" But maybe it's me. I mean, this is the beauty of this, right? The purpose of this show, and I always say it, and Easy agrees with this. We try to tell like it is, and we like to put ourselves in your shoes, in the shoes of the new collector, of the mid-level collector or senior collector.
I like to put myself in their underwear. Oh. You really get that tight fit. You can continue.
Oh, sorry, guys. This is what happened in the filter. We get Easy and the 50 Shades of Grey stuff.
50 Shades of High.
I know. But anyway, so this is Cyborg, right? Now, I think this is gonna be perfect for the topic that we're discussing right now. Expectation versus reality.
Cyborg.
Exactly, right? And a lot of
Cyborg.
people. Exactly. A lot of people already in the morning, man, bombarding me with messages like I'm Howard Chan. I just shared the information, right? But this is the thing. It makes perfect sense now that Hot Toys is releasing this type of figures with helmet. They don't want to have anything right now at this moment, not like ever, but at this moment, anything that has to be released soon with a problem with a head sculpt, right? Yeah. And we're going to talk about what happened with Wanda from WandaVision later in the show as well, with the upgraded head sculpt. So that also backs up the discussion we got of previous episodes ago about how Hot Toys is focusing 100% to make sure anything they do, head sculpt wise, is really, really good, because they don't want to hear it. And all these releases are pretty much backing up that information that we got from Hong Kong.
That's so cringy. Hot Toys is only doing it because they're like, shut up.
Yeah, pretty
much. I like it though. We're a toxic community. Be toxic.
Well, not be toxic, but raise your voices, and that's what we're doing with this show. Because trust me, they're watching. They're watching at us. They know who are raising their voices, and if we don't talk, if we don't speak up in a respectful manner, the way we're doing it, telling it like it is without offending anybody, then they won't listen. They won't even pay attention, right? And at the end of the day, guess who are the ones who make this company popular? Us, because we are the ones buying. We are the ones putting our money, our hard-earned money, in these figures. So we deserve.
That's why I say, Spider-Man may not be as popular anymore because of the tendencies of the suit being crappy, and that sale drop may want them to evolutionize the suit.
Right.
That's just me complaining and you guys seeing it and you guys knowing it now, or whatever you feel in hand is like crap. After a while you try to change the pose and you end up ripping the suit. I mean, that sucks. That sucks. This is stuff, these high dollar investments you want to last at least a few years, not a few months. So revolutionize it.
Yes. And if we don't speak up about the suit, the issues with the Spider-Man suit, they're just gonna think everything is perfect. Everything is awesome.
Yeah, if somebody can get away with selling you water and calling it lemonade, and you just keep on drinking it as if it's lemonade, they'll keep selling it to you because you're stupid and you keep buying it.
So we need to speak up and say, hey, we like the figure, but you should improve this and that. Especially the articulation. I think, to me, I do poses. You guys know me. Easy does poses. We like to see figures with better articulation. And the 501st Battalion or Battalion was a really good improvement, and I was pleasantly surprised and happy to see that they improved the articulation, because usually when you get a strong trooper or any type of trooper, you have the issue of the articulation being very limited, either on the arms or the legs or the ankle pivot, right? It's really not that great. This one, man, it's actually pretty good. So I'm very happy with that. Very, very happy.
Ability of a figure just improves all the way once you have really good ratcheted joints. I feel like
ratcheted joints. Ratcheted joints. And now let's talk about, to me, the most important and to me, the best announcement of this Toy Fair exclusive. And don't worry, we're gonna talk about Mark 1 and we're gonna talk about Cyborg. If you think we are not, we're gonna talk about it. So don't think we just kind of like ignoring that, because when we call it right, we call it right. When we didn't call it wrong, we're gonna say, hey, you know what? We didn't call it wrong. But don't think it's over yet. Just gonna leave that out there. Easy, my friend. Your thoughts about the armor?
The armor was a pleasant surprise. I feel like with all the talk and all the hype going on, I feel like Hot Toys had it coming. And the fact that we got it so quick is kind of cool. So this is a figure that a lot of people liked, and it's great. There's a small percentage of us wanting OG characters from the old trilogy, prequel, but I'll take this as it's something new and we haven't seen before. And along with the accessories that it comes with, it raises some questions, just like James, if you're watching, pointed out that it comes with different battle damage armor parts for the Mandalorian, right? Could this be a potential swap out parts and stuff you can mix and match? That would be cool. That would be cool if we start to see Hot Toys accessorize certain pieces of certain figures, that when you have them as a whole display, you can actually use certain accessories with, I mean, not to the point where you're taking off head sculpts and moving it to another character, but little pieces here and there would be really cool. And it looks well executed.
I agree. I actually agree. I think the whole look of this figure looks exactly like the show. I I'm happy with it. I'm very very
Yeah.
happy with it, and I think the discussion here is whether Hot Toys does a really good job on helmet figures like this or head sculpts like the Mark 85. Sometimes, I think they do better with this type of figures that they don't require the like a human like head sculpt. I guess because it's much easier, maybe the molding. This, if you're watching, all this, you're the artist here. But I guess that the molding is one thing, and then the painting and the weathering, especially if it's a helmet, right? It's much easier for me, my opinion, to get the likeness spot on
Of a
compared
helmet,
to
yeah.
right. And again, this matches whatever we discussed before, that they're trying to do stuff with helmets because obviously it's going to be faster to release. It's going to be less chances of people complaining, right, about the likeness, right? Now, and I have to. A lot of people ask me, and even Easy told me when I did the review on the 501st Battalion Trooper about the helmet. Is the size, is that too big? Does like that this looks so
The
like
phase one
smaller?
helmet.
Phase one. I honestly, I mean, in person doesn't look like that big. Maybe the angle that I shot, but I saw the pictures, and I have to kind of like
Yeah.
say that I think you guys are right. Right. My first impression when I had it in hand reviewing it, I didn't see it. Again, I'm not a Clone Wars
But
expert.
if you've ever had a phase one Clone Wars helmet on your head, which I have because I do some paintings and stuff, I've had phase two and phase one. When you put on a phase one helmet, it's awkwardly oversized. So I'm thinking maybe if that's what Hot Toys did, and maybe Hot Toys, did the copy the same 3D files, because I don't think any of the clones were ever made for the movies, really, except for props that people make. But I think they took the exact 3D files, and that's what they did in 1/6 scale. I mean, I don't think they did anything wrong. I just feel phase one clone helmets are oversized, because every time I had one on, it would be way oversized. It looks stupid almost. And the phase two helmet just looks, it looks to size. But
Really?
for some reason, the phase one helmet is just so big. It just looks so big.
So maybe that was intentional.
Maybe that was intentional, actually being true to scale and true to film.
Probably. So with
I
it, that doesn't look bad at all. I mean, really, I wasn't able to actually see it. I guess because I was again doing the review live. I had the figure in front of me. Maybe the pictures tell something different. But is that a deal breaker? Absolutely not. I mean, you have a figure with a bunch of options. So how can that be a deal breaker? And the articulation is the best so far in any trooper I've seen. So that's another huge plus as well. But Easy, going back to the armor, I think this was a good call, and I believe Aries was talking about this a while ago as well, calling it. And so shout out to Aries as well, which we're gonna have a live stream this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So stay tuned for that. So this one here does look nice. I like it. I think the proportions are perfect based on the picture. Again, we need to have it in hand, and let's hope that the final product is like this.
Yeah, and
right?
that's cool what she's working on. It looks like the OG Mando, like the first Mando releases, little upgrade armor. So you could, if you have the OG Mando, you could possibly do some switch outs and make it to the Mando that you desire. With all these Mandos coming out, I mean, you could make the ultimate Mando that you saw in the episodes that you loved. So these are pretty cool. And it doesn't look like it's going to be the chrome style plated one. It looks more so like it's going to match the original first edition Mando that we got.
That's true.
So
no, that's true. I mean, yeah. I mean, this one comes with I think, a fair amount of accessories. Obviously, right? This is armor, so you don't expect to have a bunch of weapons and a bunch of stuff. And
I expect a low price on her too. I expect around 230ish to 243. 243 is pushing it, but I expect it retail 230 something.
I can probably see this figure like 245, maybe 245
Mhm.
on this one. Maybe for the Spider-Man, maybe the
270s, 263.
265, probably 265. And then for this one, it's probably gonna be like 410, maybe 405, 410, maybe kind of similar to the actual Mark 50
I
regular
wonder, do
version.
you know when these will drop? Or
I
is there
don't
no
know. I
information
mean,
yet? Let me
it
see.
is right now 10:17 p.m. So I'm hoping, or I'm assuming, it should be about 8:17 p.m. right now. No, maybe later. Maybe add another 20. Maybe about 8:30 something. I don't know. But yeah. So this is one figure that I was really hoping for, and I'm very happy Hot Toys pulled the trigger on this one. Now let's talk about the Mark One and the Cyborg, right? So I shared some information the other day about the figures that were supposed to be Toy Fair exclusives, and those included the Neo Mark 50, the Armorer Mark One, and Cyborg. So after talking to my source, right? Obviously, everything is easy to say after it's done. So according to my source, and the person made a really good point, and this is the point that we're just talking about now, that these releases are normally done and done deal within a month or two. So it makes more sense for them to do something that is quote unquote much easier to do without compromising the likeness of a character, right? Like, you know,
Right.
like the armor, those figures with the helmet. Now, do not disregard Mark One and do not disregard Cyborg. Don't think that because it wasn't announced now, that means it will not happen. Because it will happen. It will happen. And where can this happen, Easy?
San Diego Comic Con.
San Diego Comic Con
This is coming
possible
up in a few.
announcements.
This is coming up in a while, in a little bit. So we're not going to get a whole slew of figures. You know, it's not ethical to just release all these high demand figures in one shot.
Right.
Like spread out your assets. Spread your assets real nice. And yeah, so SDCC, that's the high potential for Cyborg and Mark One.
Mark One, yes. What can Hot Toys do it before then? Absolutely yes. They can do anything they want at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But for the
Bombshell,
showcase,
the bombshell to release, that I feel like SDCC is the spot.
it's a spot. So, and they have more time to develop whatever they're developing, right? To try to make sure everything they're doing is good. Because if a figure they announce doesn't look good or doesn't look like obviously nothing is going to look 100%, not even a helmet. But what I'm trying to say is that the likeness of the character doesn't look there. It might have another backslash and slow number of pre-orders. So they need to make sure whatever they do in moving forward, it is good. And what is the perfect example of that? What is the perfect example of that? The Hot Toys decide, you know what? I'm gonna,
I
tell you,
wonder. I wonder.
this is a perfect example of it. And
Yeah.
again, backing up again, the sources that told us about the releases that are coming next and the attention that they're paying to the head sculpts. And this is a perfect example, Easy. Look what they did.
It's great. I really like the head sculpt from the first prototype. And this basically 2.0 prototype. That's killer. That's killer. When I saw the photos of JC Hong holding it in hand, it was like, whoa. I didn't think you could improve the head sculpt, that much. And they actually did themselves a favor. And I like what we saw there. And they went back and tethered with the original,
Right.
and made it something awesome. Like they really improved it.
And I think they did a good job, as you can see here, right? I mean, the proportion of the hair is just fantastic. The little
Strands of hair and
the little mask or whatever you call that
tiara.
thing. It does look much better. Not to say that the prototype was horrible, because it wasn't It wasn't at all. I think it was a really good figure, Haskell wise. But so this is the point, right? They are definitely paying attention on the Haskell's, definitely doing the best they can to deliver, so the people who see this can order. And I have a feeling that the reason why they did this change is because of this part here. Because on the original figure or original prototype, this one was a little lower, so you can kind of see the forehead of Wanda. But in the show, it was more like this. So maybe, just maybe, and this is just me, this is not like someone told me, maybe the pre-order numbers for this particular figure wasn't as good as they thought.
Low.
Maybe because the
And-
Haskell wasn't 100%.
And this kind of controversial stuff promotes a little bit of a hype. And I mean, with this type of an update, wouldn't you want a figure like that now?
Oh, of course.
Like something that's like damn near perfect. I would like to have a take in it.
Of course. I mean, this one looks much, much, much better. Not to say that the other one was bad. This one looks much better. So it was definitely an improvement. Definitely a good call by Hot Toys, because there's nothing wrong to revise stuff. There's nothing wrong to say, hey guys, this is what I show you, but you know what? This is a much better now. There's nothing wrong with that. Actually, it's actually much better, because you as a collector are going to say, oh, wait a second, this Haskell doesn't look... but I'm just going to wait, because probably they're going to notice that, and they're going to, give you an update. And boom,
Looks like it's going to be super hard to pose with the hair. Like certain angles, you're going to go up and down, but turning side to side is going to be a bit tough.
That's going to be a bit tough. But, it is what it is, right? So this is something that I welcome, and I'm pretty sure a lot of collectors welcome this upgrade. I think it was a much needed one. But going back easy to the topic of Cyborg R and Mark 1, and another one that also is going to be probably announced soon as well. I think that's a good call, because, I was kind of afraid that if Hot Toys decide to push for this figure to come up in a month or two, they might screw it up, because
what kind of things they'll knock off the side, or something they'll skip on, or something they'll skimp, like reissuing certain bases and giving us exactly the same thing.
Right.
For this reissue, I would like to see upgrades, and there's much to learn, because I think Queen Studios did their Mark 1 recently. And it's flattering how amazing you can get on paint apps, and the little eyes behind the helmet. So I feel like this is another time, as other companies are releasing the same thing, to join the hype and start releasing with the upcoming SDCC for the Mark 1 especially. So
yeah, and this is a figure that definitely you don't want to screw it up. You don't want to screw up this one, because this is one that a lot of collectors are hoping and waiting for. It's gonna be diecast. That's gonna happen. It's gonna be diecast. I don't know what else they're gonna add to it. I'm thinking that maybe we're gonna see a Tony Stark, maybe a 2-pack,
like a 2-pack, like a regular body, and then him inside.
Right, inside. Yes, it is very possible that that's the reason why they didn't want to pull the trigger on this one yet, and it makes a lot of sense. And then the other one is, of course, Cyborg. So Cyborg is a figure that requires a lot of stuff. I mean, just the head sculpt and the design, the overall design, it is more intricate. It is more detailed. So to be an exclusive, it now makes perfect sense that they didn't want to do it just yet. But more like a SDCC Comic-Con, SDCC release. I think so. What do you think, Izzy?
I think it's gonna come. Because this is like Cyborg's Comic-Con material. He's that stuff that you want to see. Wasn't he shown at a Comic-Con somewhere?
Yeah, this one. I think this was the Comic-Con.
There was an online Comic-Con, but wasn't there it was San Diego Comic-Con that he was shown first, right? I'm pretty sure it was San Diego Comic-Con.
I think so.
I think it was that he was shown as a prototype. So I think it'd make a lot of sense to bring him back up into this one as a actual release, as a a well-defined figure. And it looks like it's kind of rough on the edges over here on the prototype.
Right.
But I would, if they really want to do us a little bit of a favor, I would pay the money. I would go for diecast on him.
Ooh, diecast.
So this
Diecast.
would be an awesome figure to do some diecast on, some
Yeah.
metal parts and just like Iron Man.
Yeah.
So I'd pay the money. I'd pay upwards of $300 to $400 for it. So
Yeah. Wow.
because he's a really high demand figure, so I see how people would pay.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I think when this happened, this one will definitely break the internet. But I can see this one going now after all the releases that just happened, and the information we got is that it is more likely to be as a SDCC announcement rather than a toy fair,
Regular release.
because it makes sense, right? Toy fairs are really quicker turnaround for
Turnaround time.
releases, so you're not gonna do a cyborg like in a month, because if you screwed something up,
This is a well-awaited figure, and they're going to be like, really?
expecting. Mhm.
Pre-orders are going to drop. They're going to kill themselves, shoot themselves in the foot, essentially again. So it
Pretty
can't be
much.
another cyber stank. You can't have a cyber stank.
Yes, yes. No, it couldn't be. It can be. It can be. And also another release, another figure that potentially is going to be released. My source told me that it's going to be another one from Arkham City. So it could be this guy, Nightwing.
They teased him so weirdly. I think they teased him with a bunch of Marvel figures, right? I think there was
so.
like a bunch
I
of
think so.
Marvel figures around him, and then like Nightwing, and nobody paid Nightwing any attention. And a lot of people, DC fans especially, love Dick. I think his name is Dick. Dick. They love Dick a lot, and Dick is a very. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna get him demonetized. But Nightwing is a very popular guy in the DC universe. So I mean, you look at the sales for the Arkham City line. Every figure sells out pretty quick. Every figure sells out. I'm not sure if they're doing low batches, but I have an Arkham figure in front of me. Badass. That Prestige Batman. You look at the Arkham Beyond figure. Badass. Excellent execution on that. Now, this, like you said, if this is next to come up, I'd fully believe it, because we've already got a tease. It's a popular character.
Right.
I'm waiting for their Batgirl to come out. A Batwoman, Batwoman, whatever.
Batwoman, Batgirl. But this is another thing, right? DC fans also deserve their piece, so they give them something. Same with Star Wars fans, same with Marvel stuff. So everyone has to be. I'm not saying equally, because we have to be really honest and realistic. Marvel is stronger in Asia, and Marvel sells a lot, especially Iron Man sells a lot. But now with Star Wars, with the Mandalorian, with all these releases like the armor, like Mando, different multiple versions, these also sell. So they're trying to attack those markets, which makes perfect sense, because hey, Hato is a company, they need to make money, and we always say that. They need to make the money, so that is definitely a valid strategy. We can't argue that.
I like this Nightwing, though. I really do. I love this Nightwing. When I saw it, I was like, ooh, because Nightwing is, if you play the games, he's a badass. He's a really badass. He's really cool. He's got an amount of tech like Bruce Wayne does. And the only complaint, look at that suit.
Well, this is a prototype. So always, guys, when you see stuff like this, don't think this is going to be the final thing. I mean, you need to wait until the final product comes out, watch reviews.
My only issue is the pleather. Same thing like the Batman figures. That's why I love the Batman Beyond figures so much, is because it's perfect materials. I love it.
Maybe they go that route.
He has more of a clothy type nylon-y feel, which matches his suit. Nightwing, I don't see it any other way. Nightwing, I only see him being that rubbery, pleathery material because of the way the suit's designed. So that's how they're going to have to execute it.
Execute the 66. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, this is another one. And, now that we see this pattern of figures coming with helmets, right? I was kind of like going back to the website, Hot Toys website, and kind of see, okay, when is this figure coming up? When is this figure released? Whatever. So I came across a couple of figures that I want to talk about. So the first one is obviously, the
El
long
Capitan.
awaited El Capitan Rex, or Captain Rex in English. So people asking me what's going on with Rex. Is Rex coming? Is this is gonna happen? As I mentioned in episode 1, this figure is pretty much ready. It is pretty much ready. They are waiting. I'm thinking that they're doing some QC on the health scope to make sure it is okay to be released. But this one you should expect to see, hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. And if this figure has the improvement that the 501st
Now we talking.
Battalion,
Now we talking next week soon.
I will not say next week soon, but it's soon. It could be soon. I don't
Is-
know exact date. They didn't give me the date. They just told me
Mhm.
that, don't rule it out. Don't say, don't consider this figure like pushed back for months and months and
Because
months.
people are waiting on this figure. I mean, I'm talking like, I really need this. And then with the release of the 501st Battalion, I really need it.
Yes.
I need it to breathe.
And I really hope they spelled the name right on the name tag.
Captain
I don't want to
Sex.
see a Capitalian Rex.
I don't want to see Captain
Okay.
Sex.
I know, right? That would be like, you put
Hey,
the head
guys.
scope, but then you have the names.
Hey,
on the
ma,
name
look,
tag.
I got my Captain Sex.
Sex. Love it. Ooh. What are the accessories? You don't want to know. You don't want to know.
Well, there's
But
a lot of attachments.
I know, yeah, I know. But this one here is you see the battalion in the back,
Battalions.
the battalion. So that's awesome. So
Hey, somebody pointed out they're not a battalion. Someone said it's the 501st Legion.
Legion, 501st Legion, yeah.
Maybe someone who knows ranks like that can inform. I don't
Yeah.
know.
If you know that, guys, leave a comment below. I want to read it.
Yeah,
Because
check it
guess
out.
what? Guess what? We read every comment and we reply to every comment. That's what I do. That's
We
what
don't
we
get
do.
paid,
We don't get
but
paid.
we do it.
Right. So leave a comment because we definitely read you. And any maybe suggestions for the next topic, we'll also take it. But we're working on something, hopefully to do a live stream. Again, the reason why we're not doing live shows for this particular show that we do in the Sixth Scale Unfiltered is because the schedule, right? I work Monday through Friday, and my schedule is tough pretty much in the morning all day until like maybe 7 p.m. And Easy has the mornings available and very late at night. So it is not fair to him, not fair to me to do something when we are so tied up with so much. So we're trying. Please, be more patient. We're gonna have a live stream show for this particular
Yeah, we're
show.
pushing for it.
So it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Don't think it won't, because it will happen. We're just working on the best perfect day, and maybe for episode 5 we can do something like the first 5 episodes, or maybe episode 10. But we're trying to do this on a weekly basis, so that's a good thing. But yeah, Easy. So this one here, don't rule it out. This one could be a surprise announcement. So just be patient. I know, and everyone has been very patient for the past few years, but I think this one is pretty much done deal. It's just a matter of, hey, this is it. So just wait. Now, for the other one, Easy, that I want to also share, this is another information I got this morning, is that potentially, we will see this guy too. And no next week, though. Maybe, I think this one is due at the end of Q4 or beginning of Q1 or Q2. Sorry. I don't remember. Let me see.
This is one of my favorite all-time clone troopers
Oh, here we go.
ever in history.
October.
October
So,
Q4.
the battalion, or the 501st Legion trooper, it wasn't supposed to be released this soon, and it was. So if everything is going as it is going so far, with the trend of figures being released with helmets, this can easily be pushed and be released sooner rather than later.
Yeah. This is an amazing trooper and one of the best troopers that Star Wars has to offer. I got friends. You got friends in the Coruscant. This is one of the best. I absolutely. I know we're talking about its release date, but every time I see this clone, I'm just like I'm in awe. I just absolutely love this. I think this guy will sell out really quick. I don't know. I have a
Especially
feeling.
with this. Especially with
Yeah.
this. Yeah, and again, another chance of Hot Toys to sell a bunch of them, because people will not only buy one like me, will buy 4, 5, 6 of
I
this.
got 2 or 3 on order for him. And
So
I'm the guy who always says only one of every figure. And I got 2 or 3 of this guy ordered. I gotta look at my pre-orders and see. I
right,
just absolutely love them.
very easy, because you need to get your troopers, your multiple troopers, right? So it does look more like awesome, I think.
I
6,
wish this
5.
did come with a phase 1 helmet though. That would have been cool. So I could have the 2 variants.
Let me see. And talking about variants, the Loki figure and Sylvie, I don't remember her name, but those should be also announced soon as well. They teased us already,
Yeah,
those
they
figures.
teased.
So those two also expect to be finally announced very, very, very soon as well. So this is for this particular trooper, which it makes sense, right? If you think about the pattern, it will make perfect sense. Now, the next figure I'm going to show you guys, and this one, please take it with a grain of salt. And please, if this doesn't happen, don't kill me. I was just told this early today in the morning
They're gonna
about,
kill you, Dante.
I know they're going to kill me, about this guy.
Lies.
Lies. So this guy, Anakin Skywalker, Clone Wars. So I was told this morning, and I wish I can show you the conversation, but I can't. Unfortunately, I can't. I can do a snapshot, but
This is another go-to for saying about how it would release because of the certain reuses. This obviously is the head sculpt, but it's kind of hard to say because everything else on this figure is brand new. So
yeah,
it's a bit hard to believe that this will come soon.
right. But according to my source, there are 5 pre-orders on the way. 5 pre-order means 5 releases on the way. So the 3 I just mentioned, possibly Rex, the Coruscant Trooper, right? Anakin, Fator, Battle Damage Thanos. 5. So again, I wasn't told 100%, hey, the Coruscant Trooper and Rex are gonna come. Like, no. They told me that don't rule it out. The Coruscant is just me showing you guys that it could be a potential, because technically you have everything you need. Just paint it, release it, done. Right? So this one though, the Anakin, I was told about this. So soon could be a week, could be 2 months, could be 3 months, Q4, maybe I don't know. But technically they already have the head sculpt easy.
Yeah, technically they have a head sculpt. All it did was a hair change. I'm kind of mad that we're not seeing Pennywise.
Yeah, me too.
Pennywise is, I don't know why I feel like I need that figure, although it scares the hell out of me, but I think I need it. But this to release soon with all the other mumbo jumbo going on, I don't know, it's kind of hard, but you did get solid info.
Yeah, I mean, not soon like tomorrow. Just let me be clear, It is one of the 5 that I was told. So again, remember when Hatos releases those pictures with the figures that are going to be already, and already with the packaging or whatever. This is the next releases, and we waited months for them to actually happen. Same with this. I'm just kind of sharing what I was told. And the funny thing is, if you notice, all 3 that we just talked are Clone Wars.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So will that means that we may see probably Ahsoka be pushed and be released before her time?
That
Could
would be
that be?
good.
Could
That would
that
be
be?
good because they're behind on some stuff, which would help them out and maybe bring out some figures earlier. But stuff like I said, Pennywise is still missing. Who else is missing? Who else was missing from that list?
Um. Well, there's a bunch of marbles, right? The Iron
Bunch of Marvel.
Patriot, the
Iron Patriot.
Professor
We're
Hulk,
still waiting on them, and that's Marvel. That's something I think they dish out quicker. And
right?
so
But look at the timing that this is supposed to ship between October and December of this
same
year,
timing as
right?
the Kodasunk.
Right now, but the difference is that this figure here doesn't have a helmet; it is a head sculpt. So, but another thing that if you think about it, the likeness is, I mean, she doesn't look like any character to me. I mean, it's like a random face.
So they can get it wrong, and we would be like, "Oh, it's great."
Exactly, because there's really no like like for
Someone to
example
base off
the
of.
Ahsoka from Mandalorian, right? You see the actress, so you're expecting the likeness to be
Rosario Dawson.
right, that going to that route. So, but this one to me, they can play a little
They
bit,
can
and they
manipulate to whoever they want, really. Make
yeah.
it sexy and then call it a day. And we're just like, gimme, hammer, hammer.
Right, so so those figures are really interesting, and I really hope that all this happened. A lot of people are expecting the Clone Wars. A lot of people are very hardcore fans of the Clone Wars, and the more figures they got, the better, and the more releases we get, the better, because guess what, we're gonna buy them, we're gonna pay them, and we're gonna get them.
Yeah, and now
So
that you mentioned that, a quick little insert. Now that you mention all these Clone Wars figures coming out, the stuff that I love, the prequel stuff, I'm looking at my collection now, and I'm seeing like OG characters from the old trilogy that I'm not a huge fan of. Certain characters like the Death Trooper Specialist. I'm like, I gotta make room, because like if this is all coming, I gotta make room, change the collection up a little bit, sell off of some, because I have a lot. I have a lot of old trilogy stuff. Well,
yeah,
I've always been on the train for old trilogy when they first released them, but Clone Wars is coming in.
yeah, and I do think, and this is what I mentioned before, I think we're gonna expect a very busy Q4, very busy, meaning a lot of releases coming out. No pre-orders, no announcements, but actually figures. So get your wallet ready because those are definitely coming. So easy. Let's do the final thoughts to close this show. It's been awesome. Episode 3. We have still so much to talk about, but we need to keep it civilized because we have lives as well, and we need to do stuff after this. But easy. Final thoughts about the releases. What do you overall? Your thoughts?
I think this toy fair is pretty cool. It's if you follow us and if you connect the dots like Dante said, it's reasonable and it was expected, and I'm not displeased and I'm not oversatisfied of the releases. And the fact that we got the Armorer kinds of bumps it up to satisfied. I'm just satisfied. I'm okay with the toy fair because I know San Diego Comic-Con is coming up. I know some figures are going to drop. There's rumors of stuff going to drop. There's sources telling us that, this is going to come. And then with Q4 coming in, and then before you know it, we're going to be loaded up by the end of the year. And for 2022, I want Hot Toys to be on track. I want Hot Toys to be on track. I don't want them to be behind anymore. Waiting on Rex this long, it's too long. It's too long. Knowing that it's finished, and still waiting on him, and seeing the 501st Clone Trooper come and go. It's like it just boggles my brain because I really want my clones. So and like you said, Clone Wars at the end of the year, that'll be awesome.
That'll be awesome. I think that the releases of this morning were really good. I'm very happy with it. Actually, with all three. Even I'm not a Spider-Man fan, but I think that Spider-Man Cyborg with the cyber suit, whatever you call it, does look nice. The Neomar 50 was a very welcome surprise to me because I
Yeah.
was really already not liking it, but then after seeing the announcement, the colors, I actually like it. And of course the armor. I mean, you can't go wrong with that figure. That's part of the Mandalorian, which by the way, I'm gonna be dropping a video with my Mandalorian collection very soon. Just the Mandalorian and the top 3 Mandalorian figures that I like. So stay tuned for that as well. So it will be awesome to have those Mandalorian releases finally coming over. Of course, people are disappointed because they didn't get the Mark One yet, their Cyborg yet. But it makes sense. We didn't get it yet. It makes perfect sense because of the points that we mentioned before: the head sculpts, the QC, and making sure that whatever they do in going forward doesn't cost them more money, like the Mark 85. They had a budget, they fell miserably. They needed to spend more money to reissue, more money to recall. Because remember, what's gonna happen with with the head sculpts that they are getting back? What are they gonna do with those?
They're gonna melt it and make it to gold.
Pretty much, they're gonna melt it and reuse the plastic. But they're already wasting the money because you already pay the people to do the painting for those head sculpts. Now you're recalling them, so it is a loss for sure. And this is something that we mentioned before. Hot Toys really got hurt, and that's why we're seeing these improvements. That's why we see the 2.0 for Wanda with the head sculpt, which was a really good thing in my opinion. And we should see more of this. So don't think that anything that is finalized is going to be the last word, because maybe, just maybe, if we speak loud enough and we raise our voices loud enough, they will actually listen to us and give us what we deserve. Because at the end of the day, we are paying for all these figures. And this is it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, be well,
Be well.
and see you around in the next video.